What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to give the video a like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you'd like to know when new content comes out. So I've noticed a lot of discussion around the Nintendo Switch this past week, spurred by the Breath of the Wild 2 discussion and that trailer and just how good the game looks, and making people wonder if maybe that isn't running on the next or the new Nintendo Switch, or as I hope it's called, the Super Nintendo Switch. I'm probably the only one that wants it to be called that, but I want a Super Nintendo Switch. But this had me thinking a lot, and I looked at the trailer a few times, and for me, one of the big things that I'm thinking about with the Nintendo Switch is AMD's FSR technology. Now, I know there's a lot of other possibilities and things going on. This game was still running at 30 FPS in this video, and I'm kind of hoping that it'll run at 60 if we were getting a new Switch and maybe 30 on the existing Switch. But talking about draw distance and lighting, shadows, particle effects, and that type of thing, volumetric clouds, a lot of stuff just looking really good in this version. And I reported back in February about the Switch Sports supposedly getting AMD's FSR probably 1.0, and that AMD's FSR 2.0 could be implemented in future titles for Nintendo, which would allow them to really boost performance on the existing hardware and the new hardware when it comes out. AMD's FSR is not as good as NVIDIA's AI-controlled DLSS, which as a PC gamer you know has really breathed new life into older RTX entry-level cards, or the 2060, makes them so much more capable of running games at higher settings or higher frame rates with DLSS, very much what FSR does, but it's open source and works on just about any hardware, including the Nintendo Switch. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this. They're definitely going to be implementing this. Xbox is getting FSR soon as well. So it's really going to help games maintain not just a better frame rate, but potentially better visuals, as they can lower the resolution and then upscale that. And resolution is really what hits those GPUs hard. The more pixels you're pushing, the slower things are going to go, and the harder it is to put out good visuals and higher FPS. So FSR, much like DLSS, could solve a ton of those problems. And I really think this might be what's going on here. We're either seeing this game running on existing hardware with FSR, possibly even 2.0 for down the road, being a newer title, or it could be footage running from a new Nintendo Switch. Now, they could have rendered out some footage as well, but as noted by Digital Foundry and other content creators as well, Nintendo doesn't typically do that. They typically show you footage that's from the hardware, what you're going to be getting. Something I've always actually liked about Nintendo, they do tend to show you footage from the hardware that you're going to be playing on, so it's kind of less likely, even though they could have done that. I do believe we probably are on the verge of a new Switch. I hope so. I definitely enjoy my Switch OLED, but I'm definitely ready for an upgrade as well, even with the AMD FSR technology that's going to help maybe keep Nintendo Switch around a bit longer. And you can see why, with almost 100 million consoles sold already and still outselling and doing really well, Nintendo would want to keep performance going and keep the Switch going for as long as possible. So definitely a possibility with that tech. I definitely think there's something going on with that, but I also think we could see a new Switch next year, or worst case 2024. But I think Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 will launch on the new Switch and the existing Switch, much like they did with the GameCube and the Wii, and I believe they also did that when we went to the Switch from the Wii U. They got Breath of the Wild on both. So it wouldn't be surprising for a third time in a row to see a Zelda game hit both a new console and the older console at the same time, with maybe a few performance differences and stuff here and there. So anyways, that's my take on what could be going on there. Definitely think Zelda Breath of the Wild will be an amazing game. I think it will run on a new Switch and the existing Switch, and it should be interesting to see this going forward. All right, guys, thanks a lot for coming to check out the video. I really appreciate it as always. If you haven't already, subscribe, thumbs up, and ring that bell. Definitely leave me your comments down below letting me know what you think. All right, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.